Come with me as I tell you a story of Kronos being overthrown by his ambitious, overzealous son Zeus and his children, his favorite daughter Athena and his favorite son Apollo as they vied for the throne. This is their story. Stay tuned. I will be reviewing episodes 3 through 6. I'm dressed for the Attitude Era because that's what we're going to be talking about. I will be doing my overall review towards the end. And like I said, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I did see that we didn't get as much viewage on it, which like I said, it's not typically something I would talk about as WWE. So I expect everybody to watch this video, but I really hope you guys enjoy it. Please follow Clear Hair Shorts. That's my other channel for my short attention span goldfish viewers. Let's go. So episode 3, I was about to say Italian screw job, sorry, screw job, right? So basically this video, this episode was basically telling us about how the Shane McMahon character was created. So basically we have that he got acquitted, but the thing about it, like, even though like he was basically on trial for PED, performance enhancing drug scandal, you know, with his wrestlers, and he got acquitted, and so during that time he was broke. And for 83 weeks, and Mr. Bischoff reminded us, for 83 weeks WCW was taking over all the Monday hotspot, like it wasn't even close, but 83 weeks, because he has a podcast called 83 Weeks, which I aspire to be that petty after 30 years. But basically, this is when Hulk Hogan turns heel. He signed to WCW, and it's called the NWO, which is the New World Order. Also, I think my brain kind of combined New World Order and D-Generation X together, because I was like, oh, there was 2 factions. I was a child. Let's just leave it as that. But basically, Vince said that he was heartbroken, and I feel like this was nice to see his human side, but he was heartbroken that, you know, he pretty much built, like, just imagine like you build up your man, right? And you got his credit score up, you got his hairline together, and then he goes with somebody else. And it's just like, and then on top of that, he was mocking him on the show as well. So just like, well, dang, like I built you up and then you're going to go over here and talk trash as well. 2 for 2. Pretty much Ted Turner was funding Bischoff, and you know, Ted Turner is this big conglomerate, like huge, make you disappear, allegedly money type net worth, okay? And basically he was funding the WCW because like, okay, well, it's just TV or whatever, blah blah. And so basically what ended up happening was that HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, who was still Mr. Michaels, was still with Raw, and basically there was a wrestling match between Bret Hart. You know, Bret Hart was basically he was one of the veterans on the show. So basically they had like a match, and Bret didn't mind giving up the title because he was headed to WCW anyways, you know. But the issue is the fact that like there was actually real life beef, and like to me I feel like art imitating life is a common motif with Vince McMahon. Like whatever's going on in real life, he's like, it's content. Like he was the original, everything is content, okay? Everything is content. But I feel like in that aspect, there was still the fact that, you know, he's meant, like, there's times where, like, they would say, oh, you're sleeping around. You know, Bret Hart's definitely happily married. So it's just like he has 3 kids. Like, there was just a lot. Like, it was just, everything's, like, pop. But anyway, so they went to Canada. Bret Hart is actually Canadian, fun fact. And basically last minute, Vince decides, I don't think it's last minute, Vince McMahon is very much someone who's very OCD, very calculated, very much knows what's going on, very much guilty, allegedly. But I would say for certain that this was the time like he did the screw job where basically he had the referee miscounts, or he did what he had to do to make sure that Bret Hart ended up losing. And so basically there's a shot where Bret Hart, you know, he does something very disrespectful, but to his face. I don't like saying it because it's very gross, to Vince McMahon, and like that's pretty much how his character got created. This episode to me was very short. It felt very short, and basically my impression of it is the fact that like now I feel like this was like the awakening. Like, this is the awakening of I'm gonna make this be my character now. Like I feel like there was like almost a aha moment. Like regular people would be like, oh my god, I feel so bad I betrayed my friend. Vince is like, this is content. Like this is content. So I think with it being called a screw job, I feel like it was a turning point, and not only a turning point financially, but a turning point like just ethically, because I feel like there's something that there's always that line. We all have it. Okay, we all have it. I can tell you, I've teetered on it several different times, but there's this line that we all have that once we cross it, there's no coming back from it, you know. And I feel like in that same aspect that I feel like once he sat there and crossed over to, you know, with Bret Hart, like had him cross over, I feel like he crossed him, and I feel like there was no going back. I feel like after that, whatever year that was it the 90s? Was it 1988? I don't know. But I feel like once he crossed that, there was nothing else to talk about after that. Like it was over. I feel like the NWO, I feel like I think my brain just forgot, and then we also did not have cable, so I wasn't really aware of what was going on with Raw during this time. We were more pressed about SmackDown. SmackDown really wasn't there yet, or being popular yet, but I really feel like there was just so much beef, and like it's business, but I truly feel like there was like emotional ties into it as well. Like there's something that I feel like changed in Vince at that moment. Like I think because he's one of those people where like once he's pushed against the wall, I'm just assessing. I don't know this man. He's letting us know what we want to know. But once he's pushed against the wall, like that's when his true genius gets appeared. Because like I said, he got acquitted, but he lost a lot of money. So we are on to the next episode. Generation X. You know, remember that? I know we were doing that for so we're talking about episode 4, basically NWO versus Generation X. I feel like there was just an insane amount of men, I mean little boys and everybody doing this. Like I didn't realize how influential like wrestling was till I was just like, we are the children of WWE, because like I didn't even realize it. There's so many phrases that we still say to this day that are from WWE. And I was just like, even like with Suck It, like I said, like as someone who was in middle school during that time, there was no corner you could turn around. Like there was no corner that you could turn that it wasn't there. But I'll get into my review about it. But I just remember like there's just so much. Also, when Undertaker with Mark was talking, I keep forgetting that that's not his real voice, and he scared me. Yeah, so I feel like you're Undertaker. Come on. Anyway, so we're back, and basically we're talking about now, like after the screw job of him with Bret Hart, making him lose to Shawn Michaels, basically they created this new generation of like, basically I would say the answer to NWO, because like, let's keep it a buck, like it looks very familiar. So one of the rising stars that comes out of this is Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin. What? Remember that? Also, why did I not know that he was that fine? I think I was too young at the time to appreciate him, because I've always thought every race is attractive. But why did I not think he was fine? Like, 'cause I'm looking at some of the videos, it's like, if Austin was around, it would have been Claire. It would have been Stone Cold Steve Claire. 'Cause I was like, damn, like he was looking good. I don't know. I want to say it because I didn't appreciate it, but as a grown woman that I'm in my 30s, I was just like, Austin would have been able to take me out for a little drink. I don't drink beer, but he would have been able to take me out for a little drink. I did not. Anyways, let's move past that. I have on here, why was he wearing a vest? I know he was hot. I'm assuming it's part of the look. Like, I was like, you're wearing a leather vest. Like, you're wearing a leather vest. Like, I don't know why they had him in a leather vest, but I mean, like, even all this, like, I'm sweating right now. I have no idea. I'm sweating. I have on here, Austin's still fine. Yeah, he is. He definitely is. So the Steve Austin versus the Mr. McMahon, which is the character now. Mr. McMahon, beef. I have on here Tom Hardy. Why do I have Tom Hardy? I don't know why I had Tom Hardy on here. Maybe he was one of the celebrities in the background. I have on here notes Tom Hardy. Basically, they had like a lot of "you're fired" going on, like basically back and forth, like "I quit" match and "I fire you." But like the beef, their beef was almost, to me, it was kind of similar to Bart Simpson and the principal from The Simpsons. Like the beef of like, hey, is your refrigerator running? You better go catch it. Like, remember he kept like, it felt like very much cartoonish, and we loved it. Cause I was like, okay, what he gonna do to Mr. McMahon this time? Like, you know, he was very, very marketable. Like he very represents the South, very much a true Texan. Just good marketing, because how they had him styled beforehand and after, I was like, yes. Like, I don't know why. I was like, I don't know why why he was styled like that in the first place. It's all about repackaging. So I have on here is just that Shane, like basically Shane, but now we're introducing Shane, which is Vince's son. Shane O'Mac, which I never got the nickname O'Mac. I don't like. Anyways, but they're introducing him now, and like they wanted to basically, and they're just like, okay, like what was the difference? But he was in this era, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you know, Nepo baby. I have on here still fine as hell. But the thing about it, when he first came out, he was definitely dressed as Maui. Who knew that was like foreshadowing? But he was definitely styled as Maui because, you know, he comes from the island of Samoa. And I felt like when they repackaged him as, you know, the Brahma Bull, the people's champ, and like he turned heel. He was very good on the mic. Do you smell it? Like, he's the reason why I can do this, by the way, because I remember I sat there and I took 3 hours of my teenager time, and I sat there and I did, okay, I need you to I literally held this down. Like, that's how I made my fit. Like, it's so silly, but he's the reason why I can raise my eyebrows, because I was like, I want to do it too. But that was really crazy, the fact that like there was such like electricity just watching, like rewatching some of the films. Like, they they really did it. Like, I feel like that was their best era, the Attitude Era. Trish Stratus was there. She's basically, her storyline was that she was the mistress, and Linda McMahon didn't know anything about it, but she knew about it. They kissed in front of her before. I'm just like, okay. I also have on here Trish Stratus, still fine as hell. Like, she's aging like fine wine. Miss Trish Stratus, call me. But during this time, they just pushed the envelope so bad. And like, there's a instance where Trish barked like a dog and got on all fours like a female dog. I can't say certain words. This is the internet. But she did at one point in an interview. She's like, dang, like, I wish I would, like, I wish I didn't do that. You know, same thing with Dwayne. Like, he said, I wish I didn't do it. I was like, I know, but during this era, like, I feel like the Attitude Era was like them being teenage rebellion. Like, it gave very much teenage rebellion. Cause like I said, the company is like slowly growing. Think of it like a kid. Like, when the first 5 years of a kid, like, it's going to be rambunctious, going to be all over the place. But the teenage years was just crazy. Like, to me, it was giving very much teens are crazy, and the fans loved it. Like, you got to understand the appeal to these teen boys at home who are like, you know, they're seeing like all the women are dressed in bikinis, and there's a lot of leather. There's a lot of leather in the 90s. Like, there was a lot of leather. I don't know what was going on. There was a leather obsession, but I really like this episode because of the fact that there was just so much that was thrown into it. And then, like, of course, you know, unfortunately ending with the Owen Hart's brother not being on this plane anymore because there's a freak accident with the tightrope. I feel like, and then there was also the fact that they still wrestled after the fact, because like at one point you can almost see, you know, not to get too graphic, but you can almost see the remnants of him on the ring, and they were still wrestling, and all the wrestlers knew, and they still had to keep doing work. So this is kind of where the ethos of WWE is attacked, and you will see that in the next episode.